DeAdre Hopkins could be headed to the Buffalo Bills. Wouldn't that be something to see? Josh Allen to the moon. Oh wait, Josh Allen already lives on the moon.
To the moon.
On top of that, we've got potential Odell Beckham Jr. to the New York Jets news. We're going to talk about both of these things and more. The Fantasy Football Show. It begins right now.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com studios, it's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
What is going on, everybody? My name is Smitty from the Fantasy Football Show, and you can find all my content at thefantasyfootballshow.com. We're here to talk about two specific things tonight. We were going to talk about this. We did a little bit on the earlier 7 p.m. show, and yes, we are live every day at 7 p.m. Eastern. Hopkins is being rumored to be headed to Buffalo. There's also a Kansas City Chief tie that we need to discuss, but that has since been kind of shot down due to the cost of DeAndre Hopkins contractual wise. Like they can't take on this contract, the Chiefs, unless they move some things around. So from a contract perspective, it's not a feasible move for the Kansas City Chiefs. However, the Buffalo Bills are definitely in need of a wide receiver. The Buffalo Bills, they got rid of McKenzie, or McKenzie left. McKenzie's a good little receiver too. I like Shakir. I think Shakir's solid. I think Gabe Davis has obviously got a lot of upside, but he's been inconsistent, drops a lot of footballs. DeAndre Hopkins would be that leveling up that the Bills could do to try and, I don't know, I guess even the playing field essentially between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. So this is a move to make. If you are the Buffalo Bills and you don't go get Derrick Henry or Hopkins, or at least Dalvin Cook, or maybe Eckler, you could go after Eckler as well. You don't go after one of these guys. If you don't make one of these things happen, and the same thing could be said about the Chargers, the same thing could be said about the Bengals, and the same thing could be said about the Eagles. All of these teams are trying to level up, or at least get to even playing field, or one level above what the Kansas City Chiefs are doing. And the Chiefs, you hear the Chiefs are talking about maybe bringing in Hopkins, you know they're looking at moves. I thought Hopkins was going to the Patriots, confirmed. No, Heating. The most recent news is this one right here. But not saying that can't still happen. But that was what people were whispering about a while ago. But those are all rumors. Those are all, I think this is the Athletic, or this is this, place or this place predicting the New England Patriots might have interest in DeAndre Hopkins. That's what you heard. What we're hearing now is that Hopkins is a front runner to land in Buffalo, or Buffalo's the front runner to land DeAndre Hopkins as of right now. And it makes sense. Why you wouldn't do it is beyond me. Why you wouldn't get into a bidding war over this. Think about it, people. The Buffalo Bills are on the verge. They're on the verge, and you can make fun of Josh Allen one moment, and then you can pretend you never said it the next moment, come circle back and act like you weren't talking mad trash about Josh Allen being inconsistent or losing games. Josh Allen will be the number one quarterback in football 1 year, and then not 2 years. He'll be in the top 4. But Josh Allen's that kind of quarterback. He's like Brett Favre in the sense that he'll go out and throw a game away, go out and throw a season away in the playoffs, come back totally unprovoked, unshaken, just motivated, and then he'll march down through the playoffs and potentially, win an MVP and win a Super Bowl. This Josh Allen character is going to win at least 1 or 2 Super Bowls in his time. Let's not pretend like Josh Allen's going to fall short. This is a very good Buffalo Bill team, but they are one level below what KC's doing right now. A Derrick Henry move, boom. An Austin Eckler move, boom. A Dalvin Cook move, maybe or maybe not, boom, but it's worth a try at a second or third round pick. And I bet you Dalvin Cook wouldn't cost a second. I bet you could get rid of Dalvin Cook on a conditional second if you make the playoffs, or you go so far, or you have a Super Bowl appearance. You could put all kinds of conditional restrictions into the trade. But Dalvin Cook would be cheap. And most importantly, for a team that throws and throws and throws and doesn't maybe even use Cook or Henry the way that we would want them to use Henry or Cook. You give them Hopkins. This is a pass-happy team. Hopkins is a specialist catching the football from mobile quarterbacks. He did it with Watson. He did it with Kyler. He's doing it with Kyler. And now he can move on to his next mobile quarterback and absolutely help march this team into a Super Bowl appearance, okay? This Buffalo Bill team, whether you hate it, love Josh Allen, hate Josh Allen, they will win a Super Bowl in the next 10 years. They'll probably win 2. They'll probably win 2 in the next 10 years under the command of Josh Allen. That's how good Josh Allen is. That's how good this guy is. He's absolutely phenomenal. And I love that people are kind of down on Josh Allen right now just because he loses he loses momentum during 2022 and people think he's not going to bounce back. All Buffalo needs to do is get some cojones and go ahead and go after a Hopkins, go after a Henry, go after an Austin Eckler. Now, that is the most recent report on Hopkins. He is headed to the Buffalo Bills, most likely, if you had to pin down one team as the final or eventual landing spot. Doesn't mean it's official. Doesn't mean that it's a lock to happen at all. He could go to New England. He could go a bunch of different places. Remember that maybe the Bills are targeting him, and this is like, this is their preference. But maybe the Cardinals have no interest in trading with the Buffalo Bills. So this is lined up as the potential most interested team, which would, in theory, probably lead to a trade if there aren't other teams putting down solid offers and creating some sort of bidding war. So the Cardinals will eventually trade him to an interested team, and he's on the move because Kyler's not going to be ready for the start of the season. They don't want to lose Hopkins for nothing. They want to get rid of him, get rid of the contract, get rid of him, potentially rebuild. And so maybe they draft Jackson Smith and Jigba. Maybe the Cardinals use this number 3 overall pick. And yeah, they'll probably have to trade down, right? You're not going to take Jackson Smith and Jigba at 3. You could, but you probably don't want to pay him that kind of money. So you move down a little bit, but plenty of teams would love to move up to the number 3 spot. You don't think the Falcons are one of the premium targets for the Cardinals to go after and say, hey, psst, We'll give you the 3 pick. You give us the 8, give us a boatload, okay? Maybe give us Kyle Pitts. Just asking. You could say no, but we want to give you this 3 pick. Maybe they do ask for Kyle Pitts. Maybe they do. Maybe the Cardinals pull off the best trade in the history of tight end trading, and they trade for Kyle Pitts somehow in a 4. A move up from 8 to 4, so that the Falcons land an elite quarterback. And honestly, this 3 pick is very, 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 very attractive from a trade perspective. The Cardinals aren't sitting at 3. They're not going to be there during the NFL draft. They may even trade down during the draft because a lot of the teams that want to overpay for the 3 may not overpay for the 3 because they don't know who's on the board at that moment. But once the Cardinals are on the clock, if they have not yet traded this pick, and I might wait until draft day. If I'm the Cardinals, I might wait until on the clock someone knows they're getting Bryce Young. Someone knows they're getting Anthony Richardson. And at that point, teams are going to just be scrambling. And you could go to the Falcons and say, we'll give you Anthony Richardson, this number 3 overall pick, but you're going to have to give us Kyle Pitts, and you're going to have to do it now. Like, and we could throw something back. You never know. You never, ever, ever know. Anyway, so the Cardinals probably deal in this pick, but what I was going to say is if they traded down to this number 8 overall pick, let's say, as an example, and they draft Jackson Smith and Jigba. Man, I got on a sidetrack. Let's go circle back. So Jackson Smith and Jigba, it makes sense as to why they would trade Hopkins away. You know what I'm saying? So they're preparing for the future. And hopefully Gannon has the cojones to do that move. So that's what we have right there. Moving on to Odell Beckham Jr. Athletic reports the Jets are interested in Odell, and the interest is very real, quote unquote. Let's just put it this way. Corey Davis is, what I'm hearing, Corey Davis is getting released. That puts, and a lot of people say, oh, crowded wide receiver room. They've already spent a lot of money on wide receivers. Why would they do this? Let me tell you something. Aaron Rodgers has never been spoiled in his life. He's never been spoiled in his life. He's been given a chopped liver and turned it into a gourmet steak dinner every time he hits the field. He's never been treated or blown away or just spoiled in his life with riches of wide receivers. And the Jets are doing it. The Jets are doing it. They got Lazard. There's no wish list. Aaron Rodgers didn't ask for a single thing. They're just coming to him with what they know he wants. That might be why Hackett's there. This is like bringing your Aunt Edna shopping for your mom. You don't know what to get your mom, so you bring Aunt Edna along, and she tells you exactly what mom's wants. You walk into every store that Aunt Edna tells you. You pick out every dress, every purse, every earring that Aunt Edna tells you because she knows your mom. Hackett is Aunt Edna. Aunt Edna is Hackett. Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel. And Aunt Edna is out there telling the Jets, look, we need to get Odell. Not only is Odell going to bring Rodgers in, not only is he going to bring him in. Heating podcast says Rodgers isn't a Jet, Smitty. Heating, have you not been here for a while? I feel like you're asking old questions and talking about old topics, bro. It of course, is not done yet, but it's inevitable that it's happening. And I appreciate you, pal. But we're way beyond that. The Jets are going to really make a push for Odell. And Odell wants to come to New York. Odell loves New York. Okay. Odell loves the idea of catching footballs from Aaron Rodgers. And Odell is also ring chasing. He's also ring chasing. So he thinks he can win a Super Bowl, and I don't blame him. Catching footballs from Aaron Rodgers. You've got Mecole Hardman, he's on roster, but keep in mind he's injured right now. He's going to be trying to get ready for camp, and there's no promise that guy is going to be ready. Not to mention, what if he's used on special teams? What if Mecole is not going to be used as a primary wide receiver? Everyone just assumes he will be. This is potentially making the defense special teams better, making it all better. Rodgers is annoying. I don't know why the Packers put up with him. I love Aaron Rodgers. I love it. I think everybody's painting this picture about him that's not true, to be honest with you. But you know my stance on that. Guy opens his mouth, everybody else talks. He doesn't talk, everybody else talks for him. Aaron Rodgers didn't have a wish list. He already shot that down. Diana Rossini didn't walk it back. She says there was a wish list out there. Maybe the Jets created a list. They thought, this is what we think. This is Hackett's, Aunt Edna's wish list. Not Aaron Rodgers' wish list. He didn't ask for any of this, but he likes Odell. There are ties and reports that Odell and Rodgers are actually pretty tight. And the reports that I've read and the people that I talk to say that Rodgers does want Odell. Rodgers talks very highly of Odell, and the Jets have taken notice. And the Jets want to potentially turn this man, Odell Beckham Jr., into a comeback player of the year candidate, which he very well could under the tutelage of Aaron Rodgers. I'll tell you that right now. But for everybody that thinks this wide receiver room is too crowded, rumor has it that they're cutting Corey Davis. Mecole Hardman isn't a primary wide receiver right now. Could he become one? Sure. Is he a special teams addition? Maybe. We don't even know what their plan is to use, how to use him. So as it stands right now, it really isn't as crowded of a wide receiver room as people make it out to be. It's Garrett Wilson, it's Lazard, and it would be Odell. That would be your trio of wide receivers. And if you don't think Breece Hall, that trio of wide receivers, Aaron Rodgers, and that defense led by Sauce Gardner isn't Super Bowl caliber material in 2023, I've got a foam, where's my foam helmet? I've got a foam helmet to sell you that will prevent concussions if you wear the foam helmet during the preseason. Okay? Jets in play, very much in play. Probably the front runner, most likely landing spot for Odell Beckham Jr. That's coming from me. I'm reading the tea leaves. I believe this has a lot of legs to it. And if I had to predict a landing spot for Odell, and this could very, very well change, it is going to be New York. And if I had to predict a landing spot for Hopkins, I would say this landing spot is probably 70% Buffalo. At this point, New England's still in play. The Bears might still be in play. But you know who's not in play for a player that we heard? And what did I tell you? What did I tell you as soon as this news broke, and we broke it on the show, that Zeke Elliott had narrowed his teams down to the Bengals, the Jets, and the Eagles? What words came out of my mouth? I don't buy it. Who has a list of these three teams and says, this is where I'm going to play, one of these three teams. This is like when you're a kid and you put a poster up in your wall and you say, I want to be an LA Dodger. When I grow up, I'm going to be an LA Dodger. And what's this guy do? He lists three teams, highly unlikely that all three teams were on board with this, that they had conversations of, yeah, we'll just bring you in. The way Ezekiel Elliott narrowed down his teams and the way it was reported is if he's just deciding between which teams. He hasn't made up his mind yet, but once he does, he's going to that team. I told you today, it didn't sound right. This report here says, according to John Clark, I'm told as of right now the Eagles have not engaged in conversations with Ezekiel Elliott about joining the team and are happy with the running backs they have right now. It seems the Eagles, Bengals, Jets are a wish list for Ezekiel Elliott and where he would like to play football. I told you this from a mile away. It didn't make sense. It didn't make sense, this report, and we were once again proven Smitty approved.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Just to prove my own show. Let's dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Okay, dial into the show if you want to discuss any of these topics and more. AJ Lancaster, the man, the myth, the legend. Zeke, Eagles, Jason Kelce needs a backup. Zeke to the Eagles, Jason Kelce needs a backup. I wouldn't mind it. It's just not in the cards. The report's wrong. We knew the report was wrong. I knew the report was wrong. We knew the report was wrong. We said it on the 7 p.m. show. It was very clear as day. Ron Navy, you're live on the show.
Hey, Smitty.
What's up, Ron? So we got some phone line issues, but I got solutions, bro, and I think this is coming in loud and clear. Can everybody hear Ron Navy as if he's live inside your bedroom right now? I think he's pretty clear. Ron, what do you think about Hopkins to Buffalo? No brainer, right? If the Buffalo Bills want to pull off a move that makes them a difference maker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's weird is...
I know it's a joke, AJ, by the way. Thank you for the super chat.
Back.
I was just kidding. I was kidding back with you. I know it's a joke. I know you know. I understand. Thank you, AJ. Go ahead, Ron.
No, it's weird because I'm getting, like, when I talk, you know, I hear myself talking back at me.
That's a problem.
That's weird.
It
just stopped, so I don't hear it now.
Okay. Make sure you don't have the show on in the background at all, or you could have some reverb.
No, I don't. I always turn it down.
Okay. Everyone else is saying they hear you loud and clear, but go ahead.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Odell to the Jets. Oh, that just doesn't that just kind of fill in the last piece of the puzzle?
It does. I mean, what an amazing turn of events once this is all complete. And quite frankly, if the Jets have to push come to shove, give up that number, what is it? It's number 14 or what is it? Number 13? I think it's 13. Let's see. Number 13 overall pick. If the Jets have to give up that number 13 overall pick to finally get everything done, so be it. You got Odell Beckham Jr., you got Lazard, you have Garrett Wilson, you have Breece Hall, you have that defense, you have Sauce Gardner, you have Aaron Rodgers. Honestly, I would do it. It just sucks that their backs against the wall and the Packers got him by the balls. This is almost like your buddy telling you that he's going to, I don't know, trade you somebody, right? Hey, I'll trade you my extra quarterback. Just go ahead and trade your quarterback away, and then I'll trade you mine. I'll give you a good deal. Don't worry about it. You trust your buddy. You trade away this, and you go to your buddy. You're like, okay, let's make that trade. And he's like, deal's changed. You know, that's how it feels. It feels like the Packers probably made it sound like they were going to play ball a lot more fairly. And then once everything's, the free agency's over, the quarterbacks are gone, all of a sudden the Jets are being pushed to their limit. Wouldn't be shocked. Like I would be surprised, but I wouldn't say I would be jaw to the floor. Can't believe it's happening. No way on earth if like something fell apart and then all of a sudden the Jets are going knocking on the door of Lamar Jackson. But that would be like, I'm talking like 5% chance, maybe less than 5% chance, but it goes through my mind because I go live all the time for crazy breaking news stuff. So my mind wanders and I say, what could I possibly go live on that I could never expect this year? That would be one of them that I've worked out of my head. But at the end of the day, I think push comes to shove. The Jets give up what they got to give up. But the thing that's going to make this thing start moving is that the Packers need this draft pick. They need this draft capital. So this is getting done before the NFL draft. And I think that if the Jets played hardball all the way up to the NFL draft, the Packers would cave a little bit, and that might be what their plan of attack is. However, keep in mind this as well. Contract-wise, and I don't know if this has changed. I don't know if a certain date passes and then there's a different like kind of hit that gets taken that changes this. But to my knowledge, if Aaron Rodgers is traded before June 1, the Packers take a one lump sum hit for the cap hit. Whereas if they trade him post June 1, they officially trade him. Just like they're cutting Zeke Elliott in Dallas. He's a free agent everywhere. You go to like Roto World or CBS, he's got no team next to him. He's still a Dallas Cowboy. He gets cut on June 1. Aaron Rodgers may not be able to be traded till June 1 anyway. So while you're on the edge of your seat, the Jets are worried, free agency's zooming on by. There's a very real possibility that nothing can be executed until June 1 anyway, unless the Packers are going to take the lump sum hit. Now, maybe that's part of the negotiation. Like, we're not giving you the 13, but guess what? We'll let you trade them after June 1. Like, that could be all part of it. So, I don't know. Odell, though.
Because you bring in a new quarterback, you bring in Aaron Rodgers, and you want him to be able to build chemistry early as possible.
Yeah, but either way, whether they get the right deal done or have to wait anyway to execute the trade, they very much might have to. The Packers might say, look, we're trading him to you, but we are 1,000%. We'll call the deal off. Not trading you Aaron Rodgers until after June 1 because the hit's too crazy. Not to mention, like, not much will happen before that time anyway. But you're right. I mean, I'd rather have Aaron Rodgers, like, thrown with the boys. And I think he probably still will. Like, I think Aaron Rodgers could go throw with the boys and hang out, extracurricular little meetup. But certainly the Jets will wait if they've got to wait, and the Packers might say, we don't care what you say. We're trading him after June 1 because we can't afford to cut him before June 1. We'll see if those reports are accurate. I'm not an attorney. I'm a deep fake doctor. And I'm sometimes a deep fake legal pedestrian analyst, but I certainly don't have any of the degrees there. My degrees are in psych and then digital marketing and journalism. But I definitely feel like if I had to put my legal hat on and try and look at the details, what I've seen anyway, is that this contract is trickier than people think. But there's so many like dates that trigger different things that you have to hear about it from someone because we don't have the contract sitting in front of us. We only have pieces that people have seen that then relay it. And so who knows? Sometimes you hear something, you report on it, especially from my perspective. I'll report on something over and over and over. And literally like a week or two later, I'll see a report that says something different about something like that. And I'm like, what in the hell? Like I've been reporting on this forever. And unfortunately, I don't have that new information. I don't have the contracts in front of me. Real quickly, Steven, you're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Do you think Odell Beckham Jr. is going to the Jets, number one, Steven? And number two, do you like it? How's it tickle your fancy?
No, I think I do think he's going to go to the Jets. I think it's a pretty solid move for the Jets to have him, just because with Odell, he'll have like single coverage just like he did when he was on the Rams. So with all those guys that they have over there, it'll be easier for him to get looks. And we already seen with Odell when he's playing with somebody on the opposite side of him that he can put up some decent numbers. I mean, for the beginning of when we talked about him, like when he was on Cleveland, everybody thought that he was washed, and then he went over to the Rams, and before he got injured, he looked like he was back to like where he was before. So that'd definitely be pretty good if he ends up going with Aaron Rodgers.
Hey,
I was just gonna ask you if you
potential, hold on, to potential comeback player of the year. I mean, potential. I'm not saying he'll win it, but like potential, right? I mean, in New York, I mean, why not? He'd have to stay healthy.
Yeah.
But if he did, that's a comeback of the year potential guy.
He definitely could. The only thing I think that would put a hamper into that is if DeMar Hamlin comes back, because I think regardless of what happens with everybody else, because it's looking like there's a potential that he could come back. I think he's the only guy that I think that could prevent like a lot of people from winning that trophy. That's true.
You're right. Real quickly, let's go back to Ron real quick. I'm sorry, did you have something else you wanted to say? I interrupted you, Steven.
Well, it was just this was like from a couple of days ago, so I know that this was updated now that it does really look like the Jets were a big landing spot with Odell. But Albert Breer from the Sports Illustrated, he was saying that I guess the Kansas City Chiefs are going to try to bring in DeAndre Hopkins and Odell. And I was just going to ask you about that, like if Kansas City like somehow like because the way it's looking right now, like how we're all talking is that the Jets are interested. But if there's like that slim chance that Kansas City just like swoops right in there and tries to grab like both guys, I wanted to get your thoughts on that. Like if they do end up with like Hopkins and Odell, how do you feel about that?
What I'm hearing is that Hopkins' contract's a problem for KC. So it sounds like they're out, according to the report I've seen. But like we always talk about, are you going to tell people what your plan is? Like if, let's say, news is wrong, and the news is, hey, the Kansas City Chiefs aren't going after Hopkins, because that's what someone's reporting, right? If you're the Chiefs, are you going to correct the record? You're not. You're not going to come out and say, excuse me, just wanted that reporter is wrong. We will go after him. Get ready for a bidding war. But it does sound like the Hopkins trade is going to be hard for the Chiefs to do, harder than the Buffalo Bills. I think if I had to guess right now, Hopkins 70% going to Buffalo, Odell 70 or 80% going to New York. But that's still a big percentage left, to go other locations. And that's my arbitrary guess of a number, but through my experience of absorbing information and trying to decipher it, and I never say like 190% anymore, because I've seen it go, let me give you an example. Deshaun Watson was 99.99999999999% going to the Atlanta Falcons. It was like, it was already done, bro, practically. Like there was a photo of Deshaun Watson on a pool table, or in front of a pool table, and in the back corner of the pool table, folded up and like jammed in like the corner, was a Falcons jersey. So he already had like a Falcons jersey. I don't know what they were doing with it. I don't know if someone sent it to him or how that all worked out. But he had a Falcons jersey, and it was in the corner of the photo. And that was when they announced that he was going to Cleveland. That thing unfolded in the last second. So when it comes to free agency, when it comes to the draft, when it comes to trading, when it comes to smoke season, I'm very careful to throw a huge percentage on anything, even when I hear good things, because we were hearing great things about Atlanta being the potential landing spot. He probably just had his Falcons jersey that he was, going to put on or something, but he jammed it in the corner of this photo. It was crazy. But yeah, so right now, my arbitrary guesswork numbers, based on experience of what I'm seeing, when I'm seeing it, and how many people I'm seeing it from, the people that I'm seeing it from, and the people that I'm hearing it from, and the local people that hear things too, that are very, very on the ground, I would say 70 to 80% for both of them. Buffalo for Hopkins, 70 to 80%. We'll call them similar percentages to the Jets. But man, money talks. KC could come a knocking on Odell's door, because they can't necessarily get Hopkins or afford Hopkins. They can do a team-friendly restructure with Hopkins. So anybody that says KC can't take on Hopkins for sure doesn't understand the cap, because the cap can be manipulated, or you can also restructure to a team-friendly deal. So Hopkins could ultimately land in KC. But what I'm hearing is that maybe KC isn't, interested in taking on the cap and giving up the draft capital. But we'll see. Real quickly, hang tight, Steven. Ron, what do you think about Odell? Where's Odell going, and do you like him in Hopkins. Where's Hopkins going in your mind, and do you like Hopkins in Buffalo?
I mean, yeah, that's a good landing spot. I mean, I kind of was hoping he'd go somewhere like Carolina, because they could use even though they got Thielen, so I figured that they got Thielen that he's out of Carolina, but I would like to see him go to Carolina and help out there, or I can't think of too many other teams that I mean, Chicago, you mentioned Chicago before. I mean, he could go there, but I think he's more of you're getting crowded.
Yeah.
If he goes getting really crowded in Chicago if he goes to Chicago.
He could, yeah. I think it could be. Also, I don't feel like Fields will be facilitating as much as Allen and Aaron Rodgers will be. So it'll be a little bit different of a crowding, even though ultimately Lazard and Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall and that's pretty crowded too. But I think New York can survive that more. And not to mention, if Odell went to New York, I don't know that I'd be calling him an elite wide receiver 3, but would he be a fun wide receiver 3? Yeah, he would be.
Yeah.
But you'd have to be careful.
Atlanta wouldn't be bad if they had the right quarterback.
Atlanta could be okay, I guess. But yeah, not until they have.
What do they got now? They just got Pitts and they got
London, but
London.
But is Odell even looking at Atlanta? Probably hell no. Not until they have a quarterback in place. That's the last place he's going to go until they change their, he's ring chasing, bro. Yeah. He's definitely looking for a ring.
Not Odell. I'm talking about Hopkins.
Wait, yeah. In a trade he has no choice, right? But so yeah, it's possible. But I don't know that the Falcons are looking to get older. So I would say no, unless they pulled in a Lamar, then you do it. I also got word today that the Ravens are not interested in Hopkins, which doesn't bode well for them even wanting to repair things with Lamar. It doesn't necessarily for sure mean that, but I'm saying it doesn't. It's another piece of evidence we don't have. Let me put it that way. If they wanted Hopkins, I might say, you know what, there might be some interest in bringing Lamar back. But the fact that they're out on Hopkins, that's one piece of evidence we don't have to suggest that they're repairing things for Lamar. Real quickly, hang tight. 832 caller. You're live.
Smitty.
Yes.
It's Mr. Okafor. First time calling, man.
Okafor, what's up? What's up, bro?
Yeah. Fan of the show. So, I guess as far as the topics go, let's see. Hopkins, I have no clue. No clue where this man could end up. Because I haven't really been, following his story as much. Odell, the Jets. Yeah, I got a couple of Garrett Wilson shares. I'd prefer that he, chooses another location. But it would be nice. It would be nice. Definitely Super Bowl caliber stuff. And Zeke, wherever he goes, I'm guessing they'll just use him the same way they did in Dallas, just to plow in at the goal line. So
yeah, Zeke is probably, in my opinion, he's done. But at the same time, in the right spot, he could do okay. But yeah, I'm not super excited about Zeke from any sort of fantasy football level at all. But I think he definitely has the right spot he could go to that he could be very useful to said team. But that would be on a use sparingly type of basis. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. If you want to put a Jamal Williams, you could go ahead. Just kill a bunch of goal line TDs. Just throw it in for someone else. So from a fantasy perspective.
Yeah. Hold on one second, Okafor. Hold on one second. Rock out. Did you want to add to this topic real quick? You're live. Where's Odell going? Where's Hopkins going? Give me your quickest answer.
Hopkins probably Buffalo, and Odell. He could go to Baltimore, but I don't think so because of Lamar. So I'm in question with Odell right now.
Mm-hmm. All right, Okafor. What else you got? Give us a new topic, Okafor. A new topic. Go.
Nah, man. Was this from yesterday? I don't know. Time kind of flies. I can't let this man get away with this, Smitty. I can't do it.
What?
He done fooled everybody, man. 4.48 to 4.52. Nah, JS is not fooling me, man. No way, Smitty.
What do you mean he's not fooling? What do you mean JSN's not fooling you? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about that 40 time, man. That 40 time is misleading.
Let me
see. You cut on that tape. I've never seen a receiver get hawked so badly in my life, man. No, man.
Let me see.
Now, as far as the evidence goes, no feelings aside, So at the pro day, they said that different scouts were saying that like the range was like 4.48 to 4.52. How does that happen?
Well, you're talking about a lot of clocks, a lot of watches, a lot of. This isn't like the same thing as the combine, but
so they're hand timing that.
In some of the cases, yeah, but they did have some speed stuff set up, I believe. So, but yeah,
I don't know. I saw the tape, man. I didn't see nothing but cameras. I didn't see any speed stuff on the field, man.
Yeah, well, even if it was all hand time, you got to think. Okay, sometimes they add a little bit to the hand time. They say you got to add a certain number of I don't know. Tenth of a second,
0.25 seconds.
Tenth of a second or something like that. But keep in mind that this is a wide range of people, and if somebody hit 4.48 and somebody hit 4.48 and somebody hit 4.49 and somebody hit 4.52, the range was there, and that's a pretty close range. I mean, that's not that that's a lot of people coming up with those times. I don't know. Look, you're focusing on the wrong thing. Like this guy. I mean, Jerry Rice was a 4.7. He was a 4.7.
That's true.
If this guy's running,
I know Jason.
Let's say
I don't even get heat.
I know, but let's say he runs a 4.52. That's still very fast for a guy that has all the other intangibles and the speed and everything he had. Look, he's quick on the field. He's not fast. He's not like burner fast, but running a 4.48. If that's true, and your assumption that it's not true. I have no like argument for it. It's an opinion, and we've no real way to. He didn't run the 40 at the combine. Why? Because maybe you do run a tad faster, hand timed, and he maybe he wasn't quite ready to run that time, and just felt like he needed to practice a little more. Maybe he put on some bulk to be more impressive. Then he slimmed down and then ran. There's a lot of reasons these guys don't run the 40. And then do run it later. They want to be in their own area, their home turf, so to speak. A place they practice and run it. They don't want all the pressure of the way it's done. Who knows? Whatever the case may be. But to run a 4.48 even hand time, that's pretty good. I would call that a fast person. I wouldn't say he's a burner, but I'd say he's fast. That's fast, man. 4.48's fast. If he ran it,
like quick. I say like quick. Kind of like how I think of Bijan, like I guess acceleration kind of mixes into quickness, so you can start and stop, I guess, quickly. / I guess if you have good technique too, that helps too.
Yeah,
but it's not going to matter anyways. Freaking Devontae Adams, what Cooper Cup run like a 4.62? I'm not saying it's gonna, in my league it might matter since I think it was yesterday you went on a rant, or 2 days ago. About the stupid scoring systems that leagues have.
Yeah.
Mine puts together like ridiculous bonuses for like 40 yard reception touchdown, 60-yard reception touchdown. It's awful.
So hold on a second. Hold on one second. Charger Chris says, the Chiefs, what the F are you talking about, buddy? This guy's clearly in the wrong place. What in the hell is deep fake? Deep fake? You don't know what deep fake is, bro? Like, what are you talking about? This might be the most dumb and stupid as can be chat in the community, says Charger Chris. Well, I got a solution for that. There you go, pal. You know, no need to even show up anymore. We took care of it for you, okay? There you go. On your way. We freed you. You're free to go somewhere else and enjoy the comforts of another chat and see how much you like that. See if you can tear down and destroy that chat community, but you won't do it here. You are free.
Why I'm picking on his profile.
Okay, real quickly, Okafor, I'm sorry. Continue, and then we got to go to Rock Out.
No, I mean that was pretty much it. Surprised they really sent me on the lap for my JSN take, you know. But like I said, it's like I don't. It's not gonna affect his fantasy value, you know. It should be a fine fantasy receipt. I'm only kind of hating because you know I don't have the draft cap to do it again, you know.
Yeah, you're jealous.
So this is how I cope.
Real quickly,
Yeah,
that other.
him.
Yeah, hold on one second. Real quickly, that's funny. That guy says, "What am I talking about? The Chiefs." It's only in the news. Like what's this guy want? Does he want us not to talk about the things in the news? Like, Chiefs, what the F is this guy talking about? What do you mean? The Chiefs are in the news. The Chiefs are in the news about Odell. The Chiefs are in the news about Hopkins. It's in the news. Sometimes we come in and we say, yeah, it's likely. Sometimes we say, nah, it's just kind of buzz. It's probably just smoke. Or, hey, what do you think about this one person's rumor? I don't like it, but I actually think it, or I don't think it's true, but I think it would actually be cool. There's always to break this down, but it's unbelievable. Okay, so let's go back to Rock Out real quick. Rock Out, what else you got? Bring up a new topic. Something we haven't talked about yet, or I guess if you have something to add on this, go ahead.
What's your feelings on the Bills backfield, and if like Charbonnet fell, you think they would take him?
Let me read the super chat because it kind of ties into this. Garrett, appreciate your super chat, Garrett. To the moon, my guy.
To the moon.
Appreciate you, Garrett. Garrett says Hopkins to the Bills or Chiefs, Odell to the Jets. Who's better in Cincy, Henry or Eckler? Are we drafting tonight, Smitty? Probably not tonight, bro. I'm sorry. Also, Saquon in the moon is a moon man. He's not a moon man, but he could be. Because Saquon's going in the second round, I got an ADP video I'm doing. And again, announcement, I announced it earlier. I'm doing a weekly ADP show. And I'm going to do it differently than anybody else does it. It's not just going to be, in general, who do I like? The first episode will be that way. So it'll be, hey, let's break down the top 30. Let me tell you who I like, who I don't like. But then every week we might address something different. Like the ADP show may have only wide receiver topics going on. The ADP show the next week might be only tight ends. It might be only quarterbacks. It might be only this. It might be only that. So it's going to be amazing and fantastic, and you guys are going to absolutely love it. But I would say Henry is probably the best fit for Buffalo. Eckler would be as well, though. I think... what was the other question? Saquon Moon Man. Yeah, he definitely could be. Oh, because I was going to say that Saquon's falling to round number 2, the top of 2. And really, that's almost win a league potential territory, for Saquon. Because Saquon could be a top 5 overall player. So, wouldn't shock me at all if Saquon was a moon man, or at least a satellite man. But, and then was there another question? Eckler. Eckler would be good in Cincy. I think Eckler's best location would be Cincy, personally. We got a caller from the 925. Who's this? You're live.
Hey, this is George.
What's up, George?
Hey, long-time listener, first-time caller. I love your show. I wanted to kind of get your take on who you think is going to be the biggest sophomore slump this season.
Sophomore slump. Oh, and real quickly, Rockout, what was your question? I think I'd sidetracked on Henry and then I didn't answer it.
I was like, what's your feelings on the Buffalo Bills backfield?
Gotcha. I think so. I did kind of answer it. I think Henry's the best player to land there, and I don't know that they have their running back situation sorted out. Damian Harris and James Cook are going to eat into each other's workload. I don't think James Cook's just going to hold on to the job. I think Damian Harris is a good between the tackles runner, so I think that eventually could be a problem for James Cook, and they may trade for Henry. They may not. That Damian Harris signing potentially made it to where maybe they're a little less likely to make the Derrick Henry trade or an Eckler trade, but it doesn't mean it's ruled out. And to the sophomore slump question, was your question?
Yeah.
If I had to pick a sophomore slump player, I'd probably say Treylon Burks. I mean, he didn't really have a great season anyway, so I don't know if you can even use him. But that's somebody I think people are expecting a big season and probably won't do well. I think Brian Robinson's a candidate for a sophomore slump. Not that he exploded, but I just feel like that situation's not very clear. I think Rachaad White, unfortunately, could he could do two things. He could, if he escapes the draft and they bring in a different quarterback situation, which I don't think they will, then he could maybe be a surprise. But he also very much has that sophomore slump potential feel to him. Unfortunately, I hate saying that, but Tampa's like a death trap for running backs and wide receivers right now. Yeah. I don't like it.
Well, I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna bring it back to this OBJ conversation, and I think it's gonna be Garrett Wilson.
Woo, dog! Hold on a second. It's okay. Differing opinions are okay, but that one definitely. I definitely don't like it. It definitely doesn't.
Well, think about it. When Rodgers is at his best, he's moving the ball to multiple receivers.
Really? I mean, isn't Watson isn't Watson laser locked on? Isn't Adams laser locked on? I'd venture to say the opposite's true, bro. This guy will lock onto one guy. Now maybe he loves Lazard more than we think, and there's Odell goes there, and there's not enough footballs to go around. But I think if anybody suffers, it's Odell and Lazard, and Garrett Wilson's so electric. He's such a good player that I think Rodgers will gravitate toward him. But, I mean, it's not the craziest take in the world. I don't like it. I hit the take a lot button for a reason. But could I see a world where there's just too many weapons or something? I suppose, but I think Garrett Wilson's so good, bro. He's so good. I'd rather bank on him than even consider it. Like, the thing is, where does he climb ADP wise? But what makes you think he's gonna spread the ball around? I mean, he hasn't really done that.
I mean, he's getting old. He's more of a check down receiver, and OBJ's that possession type receiver down the middle.
Yeah, but he can't.
So I mean, I think it's going to be more of a connection to OBJ than anybody else.
I don't know. The thing about Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner is they command so much respect on that team. They're the leaders right now. Until Aaron Rodgers gets there, those guys just scream like we're in charge. We're in charge. Everybody's looking to us. We are the leaders. Garrett Wilson's so elusive. And I admit, I had questions about him walking into the season. But you don't always have all the answers with which rookies will thrive. What matters is how quickly you adapt and recognize, especially going into the future years. Sometimes rookie years are tough to predict. I really like Burks coming out of college, and I don't like him at all anymore because things change. People evolve. Things are different. I think Burks could do okay, and he could prove me wrong. I wouldn't close the door on him. But his situation sucks. He's kind of been disappointing. Yeah. He's got, no offense to the asthma thing and all that. I understand he can't help it or whatever, but those are all disappointing things, man. Those are all things you're not expecting out of your wide receiver that's supposed to break out, and he's got a horrible situation. But I truly believe Garrett Wilson's going to be as good as we're advertising that he'll be, because we're a little higher on him than most communities, but communities are catching up. Unlike that caller Chris, who thinks that we're full of garbage here. What do you call us? The most, what do you say? Dumbest or
fake something?
Yeah, it's dumbest, fakest, whatever. Yeah, it's because we're out of the curve.
I think personally, my opinion is I'm going to put more stock into Olave than Garrett Wilson this upcoming season.
I don't blame you on that. I'm not saying I necessarily 100% agree, but I've put a video out there, the Olave video. Have you seen it? Where I said, I don't know that there's one wide receiver anymore that could crack that top 5 and shock the entire fantasy football world. I think Olave might arguably be just as good, could even be better than Garrett Wilson in 2023. So I'm with you on that. However, I'm prefacing that Olave's ADP is around bottom of the second into the turn into the top of 3. So do not take Olave at 13 overall because you're like, well, I won't get him. Just draft appropriately. And, would I take him at like 17 or 18? Sure. But I don't want people to target that. But you need to pick your spots. You need to play the ADP game to the best of your ability so that you can spread out your risk level. And you don't want to draft Olave in your one league that's drafting early because you're afraid you're not going to get him. You take him at 14 overall. And then in your other league, you're all of a sudden drafting at 19 and you can get him. And now you got him in both leagues and you didn't get to take advantage of a different approach and diversifying with the Olave pick at 12 or 13. Just draft smartly, use ADP to your advantage. Do a bunch of best ball drafts where you can go, I've gone Olave at like 15 or 16 in a best ball draft and been okay with it. That I'm fine with. Garrett, appreciate your super chat, by the way, and Saquon to the moon. We'll find out. Garrett dropped another super chat. Olave over Garrett Wilson is a clown take, says Garrett. Garrett, you just super chatted to say that. I appreciate that, but I don't think it is. I don't think it is a clown take. I think if you want to call it a clown take, and I still appreciate you, Garrett, because you're super chatting to say that. But at the same time, like, how is it a clown take? Olave has all the skill sets that Garrett Wilson has. If not, you could almost say Olave's a little bit more dynamic, bro. This is quite arguably the most well put together wide receiver of the entire sophomore wide receiver draft class. You could argue that. You could argue that Olave is, he's a little bit more of everything you want out of a wide receiver. Garrett Wilson's a little on the smaller, slender side, right? But he's fantastic. I'm not knocking Garrett Wilson. I feel like I'm higher on Garrett Wilson than anybody, Garrett. I think it's because of the name Garrett. I think you're upset, Garrett, because
They both play college ball together on the same team. Garrett's are trying to stick together.
yeah, I mean,
I got a player for sophomore disappointment.
go ahead.
Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy could easily be a sophomore disappointment. Depending on the injury, if he gets another chance to come back, he could be a disappointment.
Yeah, I mean, if he's even on the field, yeah. I think James Cook, another potential sophomore disappointment. Tyler Algier could be a sophomore blow-up in a good way or a blow-up in a bad way. Just unfortunately, the way that situation could be for him, a rookie could get drafted into that spot. But I like him. It doesn't mean I don't like him. Remember, panic chamber guys, sometimes they're in the panic chamber and I still want to buy them. So there's some risk level there. Isaiah Pacheco, there's some potential there. I don't know that I'm predicting him to bust, but this is KC. They rotated 3 running backs last year. So if we want to pretend, they're changing their way they do things now that they found their guy, he was the 3rd guy they rotated into. And McKinnon's still on the roster. I mean, Clyde should be traded, we think. But, I mean, it's still a potential disappointment. Dameon Pierce, depends on what happens with the draft. I like him a lot, but could he bust? There's a potential for it. Okonkwo, I don't think is ranked high enough that he can bust on anybody. But, like, will he get the wide receiver or the quarterback support? I mean, those are all the names that come to mind for sophomore busts. I mean, I don't think Breece Hall will. I don't think Walker will. I don't think Dameon Pierce will, but he's got to escape the draft. And that's it. I mean, like, Rachaad White's a one that's hard for me to say, but that's a potential bust. Potential. Hopefully not. Garrett, appreciate the clown call out anyway. Whatever you super chat, I'm not going to get mad at you calling me a clown. It's fine. Garrett Wilson to Mars. Absolutely. Let's see here. Is Okafor still there? Okafor, let me give you a question, and you answer it. Short answer, please.
All right.
More win a league capable. Joe Burrow 4.1 or Kenneth Walker 2.12.
Who?
Kenny.
I thought I heard Karen Walker. I said what?
No, Karen is
Karen
not
Walker
in this.
what?
Karen is not in this topic.
I mean,
Kenneth Walker 2.12, Joe Burrow 4.1. What is more likely to win you a league, Okafor?
I gotta go with the running back committee.
Okay.
I think Kenneth Walker is a very, very talented guy. He has RB1 potential. Getting him second round.
Oh,
Tomorrow I'm going to have a video up, guys. Brees Hall, Kenneth Walker winning leagues. Why? I'll tell you why. ADP video drops, I think, tomorrow at some point. Ron Navy, Brees Hall at 3.1 or Joe Burrow 4.1. Which one is more win a league? What has more win a league potential?
well, honestly, you got to go with Burrow. I mean, quarterback, the league quarterback, then Burrow's up in the quarterback, score more fantasy points than running backs and wide receivers. So I got to go with Burrow.
Steven from Massachusetts, how many touchdowns does Joe Burrow throw for in 2023? And let me just give you the stats in 2020. Let me give you his entire career so you can give me a fair projection. And keep in mind, this dude had his offensive line improved and enhanced. Joe Burrow stats are as follows. Let's see here, 2020. Actually, let me just put up last year's because I can't grab the other. And keep in mind that Joe Burrow ran for. God, hey, don't look, Steven from Massachusetts. You're not looking, are you?
No, I'm not looking.
Okay, free 2023 membership to the fantasyfootballshow.com. How many rushing touchdowns did Joe Burrow have?
I'm gonna say 6.
Ooh, you're close, bro. 5. He had 5. Joe Burrow had 5 rushing touchdowns. 5 rushing. Okay, so he had 35 passing touchdowns in 2022. 35. So he had 40 total scores. How many touchdowns, Steven, from Mass? How many touchdowns does he score total, and how many are passing in 2023?
So you want me to give a total between running and passing? And
Yeah,
then how many strictly pass?
Give me both.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say he's gonna up from 30 touchdowns to I think he's gonna get maybe about like 39, 40 touchdowns.
Okay, if he throws either 39 or 40 touchdowns, I want you to save this. At 57 minutes into this video, you can come back and screen grab it, keep it on your phone. If he throws 39 or 40, you get either one because you said both numbers. I will give you a lifetime content membership to the fantasyfootballshow.com. Okay, I want you to save this.
Nice.
I will not be able to keep track of this. It's gone. Like, it'll be in one ear, out the other ear.
Okay.
So screen record this. He has to throw, not total touchdowns. Throw for what you said, either 39 or 40. If he does, lifetime $99 membership to the Fantasy Football Show. Okay.
All
right. Good.
And Smitty's going to be rooting you on the whole time because he loves Burrow.
I mean, I'll hope he exceeds it. No, I'll be rooting for you.
Don't get me wrong. I hope that he throws for more, but I mean, I also think it depends on what they're doing too. I mean, because wasn't there like rumors that they wanted to get that wasn't sure about what's going on with T. Higgins? They're still keeping him, right?
Yeah, Okafor.
Yeah.
2024 membership, not the lifetime, but the 2024 membership. This one's a little easier. And you have to take care of this screen grab, and you got to show me the video and everything, or at least point me to 58 minutes into this video and give me the link and everything, because I'll forget all about this. You guess Joe Burrow's rushing touchdowns, I'll give you a free 2024 the fantasyfootballshow.com membership.
Rushing touchdowns next year?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's going
Let me throw
calculation mode to
5 out there.
Carry the 1. Okay, 5. Make sure you at 59 minutes into this video, roughly 58 minutes, send me this link and tell me 58 minutes into it if you win 5 touchdowns. Got it. And
All
let's
right.
go. Let's go to. Let's see. I'm sorry. Who else is on the line? That's from area code 925.
George.
George. I'm sorry, George. I'm trying to enter in your name and I can't from the screen. George, if you get within, let's see, 100 yards of Joe Burrow's passing yardage, I'll give you a 2024 thefantasyfootballshow.com membership. So give me Joe Burrow's passing yard total. You have to get within 100.
For the upcoming season?
Yep.
Oh, well, this is going to be easy because I got the Bengals going all the way winning the Super Bowl. He's going over 5,000 yards.
Okay. I like it, bro. I mean, not to sound weird, but this is getting me excited. You're getting me excited, bro. Go ahead and give me a number. You got to get within 100 yards.
5175.
Okay. Keep the link. We started talking about this about 57 minutes into the show or whatever. So keep the link. I won't even know how to get back to this. Okay. Thank you, guys. Ron Navy and Rock Out for good measure. Let's see what we can do for you. Let's do Garrett Wilson. Rock Out. Do you have a lifetime content membership, Rock Out?
I don't know if it's a lifetime, but I got a profile with it.
Okay. I'm upgrading you to a lifetime membership, Rock Out. If you can guess, and remember the time, date stamp, and the link. Garrett Wilson's touchdown total, and you got to be within. You can give me two numbers. You can say like 10 and 11. You get both of them.
Go with 7 and 10.
7 and 10. Oh, you're getting both. Now you can't go in between, but you want 7 and you want 10. I would have thought you would have said like 10 and 11, 11 and 12, but you're dividing and conquering, bro. I like it. That's bold. Okay, keep the link. I'm not gonna have any recollection of this. Ron Navy. I will put Ron Navy's name across the top and take up half of the screen for an entire show if Ron Navy gets this correct.
Give him a tough one.
And it'll just say Ron Navy like in front of my whole, like almost take up the entire, I have to go do the whole show like this. I'll have to duck if Ron gets this correct. Ron, how many passing touchdowns will Kenny Pickett get? And you have to be within 3. Or no, actually give me
Good one.
give me 3 numbers. And if you land any one of the 3, you win. So if you want 33, 34, 35, or 21, 22, 23. Sorry, that was a low number. Throw out 3 numbers, Ron. You get any one of the 3 correct. On passing touchdowns, not combined, passing. Keep the link.
Just passing touchdowns?
Just passing. You gotta get the number right. And I'm gonna give you 3 guesses for it to get it right. You can do what Rock Out did. Rock Out picked 7 and 10 when I gave him 2 numbers instead of doing 10 and 11 or 9 and 10. He did 7 and 10. So go ahead, toss out a touchdown total. You get it correct, and you got 3 guesses. Ron Navy is gonna go on like half the screen, and I'll do my whole show ducking. I'll keep it up the whole time.
Wow. All right. Well, let's see.
3 numbers.
I think
Better odds than me.
Yeah, I guess, huh?
Yeah, but he's gonna go so high. He's gonna go so high.
Start with the 20 something. Start with something with 20.
He's gonna be like 38, 39, or 40.
Damn.
25.
Nope.
26, 28.
I'm gonna say 28.
28.
31. And I'll go a little, I'll say 26.
Okay. You heard it, boys. You heard it. These are the predictions. This is the prediction show. And everybody send me your link and if you got it correct, and I'll review it at the end of the year. I'll send it to my quality assurance team. We'll take a look at it and see if you won. Ada says rushing touchdowns, 6 and 8 TDs. Ada, unfortunately, actually, Ada, just because it's you, bro, I'll include you as well. Make sure you send this timestamp, and not everybody else gets to do this, but Ada, you can have this 6 and 8. You get those 2 guesses. I'm gonna give you 2024 thefantasyfootballshow.com membership, not a lifetime, but I'll let you enter those 2 guesses. Okay. Anything else? Let me go over to Steven. Steven, you got 10 seconds. Final thoughts?
Yeah, I just wanted to know what you thought about the Kansas City upgrading their wide receiver room. It seems like they've been losing a lot of guys. I know they lost Smith-Schuster and they lost Mecole Hardman. Who do you think that they're going to go after to put Mahomes with some weapons? Because, I mean, right now, if we were going to – I mean, I'm sure you see in the drafts, besides, like, Travis Kelce, you're just looking at, like, Sky Moore and a bunch of, like guys that you don't even want.
Yeah. Dante, go to thefantasyfootballshow.com if you're looking for all my written content. Thefantasyfootballshow.com. Surprise, surprise. That's my website. I would say, I mean, Hopkins is in the cards. Like that, we're already hearing that maybe they've been eliminated because of the contract. But like I said earlier, you make a trade just like DJ Moore. You make a trade, you reconstruct the contract. So I don't know why everyone's ruling out Hopkins for KC, but I have heard that Hopkins is maybe not as likely to go to KC because of the contract. But they can restructure. They can make it. You can do a lot of this lump sum bonus up front of the salary, and it ends up being more feasible. Let me look up his contract real quick, though. Let's just take a look at how difficult it is. Other players that you could go after, I guess, rookies. I mean, you could obviously draft one of the bigger name rookies if you wanted. In terms of trade, I don't know what other wide receivers could get traded, guys. Who am I not thinking of? Ron, who's in the news potentially to get traded? I don't know that there's many left.
Brandon Ayuk.
There have been people that have been kicking around Ayuk and Debo, but Debo's got a $35 million cap hit, so I don't think Debo's getting traded, even though people are saying he.
Do you think Mike Evans could get traded? Depending on what Tampa Bay wants to do?
Higgins has been talked about, but then they shot it down. The team. I think the GM coming out and saying what the GM said. I believe it was the GM that said it. That we're not in the business of getting rid of good players, so that's not my problem that someone wants Higgins. So you can't really walk that back. That's like you're really talking the guy up. I think Mike Evans is certainly a good one to bring up. Yeah, that's a really good one, bro. I could see him getting traded. I don't know what his contract looks like. Hopkins has a $19.4 million salary owed to him this year with a dead cap of $22.6 million. So that dead cap's pretty high. The Cardinals may not trade him if the deal's not really, really good. It's almost like you're getting hit this year pretty hardcore, but you're getting rid of next year's $14.9 million salary, and you're not going to take $11 million dead cap hit next year, and next year is what you're worried about. So if the Cardinals get a draft pick that they like enough, they'll say, you know what, we'll buy a draft pick. We'll buy a draft pick for this year, but we'll get rid of and be able to rebuild and take care of next year. So I just wanted to look up Hopkins' deal, but Evans is pretty good. Ron, do you got any other players that potentially could get traded? Diggs has been talked about as being a guy that some people say could get traded, but he's not. They restructured. He's staying.
What about Gallup?
Gallup?
Yeah, from Dallas.
I
mean, they just signed what's his name? So, I mean, Gallup is.
So injury prone. What a team.
Of course, I don't know what his contract stuff is right now, but
team actually pay for him. I don't know if they would. I mean, you know what? We've seen guys get traded at that level. I don't think he's impacting, but yeah, he could. I suppose, get traded.
I have Jerry Judy's a guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Judy and Cortland Sutton. Thank you very much. I'm like racking my brain. I'm like, what wide receivers am I not thinking of that could get traded? Jerry Judy and Cortland Sutton. Both or one of them could certainly get traded. And I don't know what the reason is for Sean Payton. I think he just wants to mix things up and start over. And Judy's.
Well, let's forget that Patrick was the number 2 over Judy until he got injured last year. So you never know. I mean, if Patrick's back healthy, that makes Judy expendable.
Here, yeah, Corey Davis is going to get cut, Sloth. No one's gonna go after Corey Davis. But the rumor is, what I'm hearing, very reliable, I think, sources, that Corey Davis is probably getting cut. That's why Odell's being talked about. Cooper Kupp, if rebuild in LA, yeah, Cooper Kupp could potentially get traded. That's a good one. F1, I don't think McLaurin's getting traded in Washington, but it's certainly possible if the price was right. Pittman would be nice in Atlanta. Really, Woody, though, unless they have a quarterback, bro, I don't know that anybody wants a crowded wide receiver room. I think London can survive there with Ritter, but I don't know that I want to crowd that up over there until they get a sufficient.
What about Terry McLaurin?
Yeah, that's F1. That's what we were just talking about. Possible.
How about Keenan?
Yeah, Travis said Keenan Allen. I got that right on the screen here. That was what I was going to say next. Certainly possible. And I'm not like super high on
What
Keenan
about
Allen.
Lockett?
You what?
What about Lockett? Lockett from Seattle.
I suppose. Didn't he just sign an extension, though? Not that doesn't... I mean, sometimes extensions make you more tradable, so it's not like that rules him out, but... didn't he? Let's see here. Lockett could have his contract extended. Oh, he could have his... Yeah, he could have his contract extended to free up cap space. Yeah, I suppose he could. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how trade...
He's getting older. He's getting older, and they might want to, like, bring up some younger receivers.
Yeah, Jackson Smith and Jigba, a lot of people talked about him going to Seattle. That would be a real nice land for Seattle, but I don't know that that's my favorite landing spot because DK's there.
I did see some reports that some people were talking about Hunter Renfrow could get traded out of Vegas.
Yeah, I think that's possible. Again, Deebo Samuel, his cap hits $35 million. He's not getting traded. Give me one, Smitty, says Niner Rick. What are you talking about? I hope Watson gets traded. Christian Watson is not getting traded, Ada. And I think he's fine. I want him. I kind of like him with Jordan Love. It's in a weird way. I think he could do just as good now. He couldn't have before he got developed and fast-tracked, but now I feel like sometimes the right blend of decent play in Jordan Love and the right blend of being down and needing to throw the football in the third and fourth quarter can make for a good fantasy football wide receiver situation. It wouldn't shock me in the slightest if Watson played better under Jordan Love than Aaron Rodgers this year. Like, I'm not saying last year obviously needed to happen, but part of me feels like Watson's far enough along now that maybe Jordan Love's just going to be like, where are you? Catch the ball, please. Just take it over and over and over. Like, I'm kind of intrigued by it. I don't know, Ron, if you feel...
They already shut it last year when Love got in there, and remember Christian Watson wasn't having a big game, and Love hit him down the sideline for that big pass. He was using them.
Yeah, let's look it up real quick. I want that to be confirmed by my own eyeballs here. Jordan, I do remember that. Jordan Love. What game was that roughly, Ron?
God, I can't remember it.
It was against the Eagles when they're getting blown out.
Let's put them side by side. Okay, here's Jordan Love's game log. Okay, Jordan Love's game log is right here on the left, and then Christian Watson's game log. Let's find this. Let's do a little investigation here. Christian Watson, they still got him on CBS Sports listed as a third wide receiver. Let me hit the take a lap button.
Because of coming back from that knee surgery.
Like 6-8 weeks or something.
Yeah, so you can already, like, forget about it was the first half of the season. You can pretty much, you don't have to even investigate that.
Okay, so here was, so Jordan Love played weeks 1, 6, 12, and 17. So week 1, wait, what? Oh, yeah, he must have thrown a couple times. Let's see.
Check week 12. I got a sneaky suspicion about week 12. It's either week 12 or 17.
Yeah, week 12, he had a touchdown, 110 yards. Jordan Love had 113 yards and a touchdown. It appears that would be the week. I don't know how long did he play that full game? That was 6.
I don't know.
That was 6 completions for 9 attempts for 113 yards and a touchdown. I imagine that was probably it, but that's one game. We're trying to find one game. They have the rapport. They have the rapport. We found it. The golden gem. The roadmap. One game, one pass. They're 1 for 1 together. I'm just excited about it. I'm just a little excited about it. I'm not rooting for a Christian Watson trade. Of course, I'd welcome it if he got traded to the right spot, but for the most part. Okay, let's circle back around. Who's the 925 caller? Is it Fred? Fred?
It's George.
George. Damn it. Same thing. George, you got 10 seconds, pal. And George, as soon as I end the call, I'm hoping I can go and add your name to the thing. Right now it won't let me. But George, you got 10 seconds. Go, and I appreciate you.
All right, my bold take for next season, Trevor Lawrence will be a top 3 fantasy quarterback, and I'm going to draft Ridley to stack.
I like it. What number? What was it? Top what?
Top 3.
Wow, that's good. That's bold, bro. I like it. All right, appreciate you. Thanks for calling in.
Thanks, Smitty.
Call in anytime. All right, Okafor, you have 10 seconds.
My bold take for the season, not so bold for me. But Garrett Wilson will outperform the Golden Boy, Jamar Chase, by seasons end. Okay.
Wow. It could.
He's going to do it.
Look, I could see it happening. Like if Jamar even missed time, or something like that. But hopefully they both just ball out. Hopefully we can't tell them apart.
Yeah.
It's like Garrett Wilson, Jamar Chase, Garrett Wilson, absolute monsters. I like it, Okafor. Garrett Wilson outperforms Jamar Chase, says Okafor. Okafor out. Appreciate you, Okafor.
No.
All right, call in anytime. First time caller too. Nice job. Rock out. You've got 10 seconds, pal.
All right, I got St. Brown and Williams from Detroit, top 25.
Both of them? Okay. And where do you have Goff then? And that's not that bold. Top 25, both of them. You got to have one of them way higher than that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty low.
Where do I got Goff?
You what?
Where do I got Goff?
Well, give me a higher ranking out of one of those wide receivers. Both top 25 ain't no thing to write home about.
I got St. Brown, number 8.
Okay, I like it. All right, rock out. Appreciate you, man.
Yep.
Call in anytime, and always appreciate your support. Make sure you keep this link and you get that timestamp and everything. Okay.
Also, we got a Mexican Coke for you and drunk it today for you.
Attaboy. I'm drinking less of those because I've been trying to lose the LBs. I still am not like super fit, and I failed. I failed again. However, I feel like I've made super big progress because I'm down to 215 to 216 instead of 223, 221. What was I on this? Let's see here. On this meat suit photo, I was 223. So I'm down to I'd say 215. Let me change this number between 215 and 216. Let me see if let me change this number. So 215. So I'm down a number of LBs, but I need to start lifting on the daily so I can cut up, because right now I'm still like a blob. So I might have to reset my date again, but I've made a lot of progress, so I'm proud of the weight loss. But I do miss the Mexican Cokes, but I've been drinking Prime. This one's got 25 calories per bottle. And if I drink like 4 or 5 of these, that's like still less than one Coke, So
yeah, let's start another challenge.
Yeah, I'll just reset the date a little bit, but I'm down. That's a good amount. I'm down 20 pounds since Xmas says row. That's awesome, bro. All right, rock out. Appreciate you, pal.
All
right, Steven, you got 10 seconds. Get the bet. Get the
That's
bet.
all I
Steven.
have for today, man. I'll just call back in tomorrow. You have a good day, Smitty.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Steven. Later. Ron, closing thoughts?
Well, everybody would expect me to make a Steeler prediction, so I'm not going to do that, even though I think they're going to win the North. I'm going to say Justin Jefferson ends the year with 2,400 receiving yards and 15 touchdowns. That's my bold prediction.
Did you just say 2,400 receiving yards, Ron?
I said 2,400 receiving yards, 15 touchdowns. That's my bold prediction.
If he scores, that's a lot, Ron. That's 2,400 divided by 17. That's 141 yards a game. That's a lot. That's the boldest prediction I've ever heard in my life.
There you go. You heard it here first.
If you're right, we're just gonna give the show over to you. Everyone's just gonna say, "Why are you here, Smitty? Why are you here? Did you hand over the show to Ron Navy yet?"
With your co-host, Smitty.
2,400 yards, bro. Almost like we thought maybe he was gonna throw for 2,000, and then he fell, 150 plus short or whatever. He got 18, whatever, 130, 2,400. That's crazy. That's the boldest prediction I've ever heard in my life. Ron Navy, everyone. All right, Ron, appreciate you.
All right, later.
Later. Oh man. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Dante says take a lap. Smitty can dump 5 pounds. Will do. Give me a chance to win the fantasy thing, says Niner Rick. 24. Run. If JJ gets 2,400 yards, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. That's the boldest prediction I've ever heard in my life. All right. I feel like I better go. Appreciate you all. Hopefully the phone calls were clear tonight. I had to jimmy rig the phone lines, but I feel like that worked pretty well. So I'm pretty impressed with that. Everybody hear the phone lines? Was the phone clear as day? Like, did it feel like it was the old times? So in a worst case scenario, we can do that and we'll be able to hear very clearly. But let me know, confirm real quick that you could hear everybody crystal clear. Cooper Kupp is coming to the Niners. Niner Rick, you always think you're getting everybody, you're trading for everybody, you're drafting everybody. You got to be the most let down person in the world, Niner Rick, if you really, really believe all these things are going to happen. Because so many things don't happen that you want to happen. I feel bad for you, Niner Rick. You got to be so your balloon gets deflated like every minute when you have all these high expectations of. You think Bijan's coming to San Francisco when you have McCaffrey. You think that Cooper Kupp's headed over to the Niners when you have too many mouths to feed anyway. Cooper Kupp would be worthless in a Niner uniform. This poor guy. That's a bolder prediction than Ron. Cooper Kupp going to the Niners. That's bolder than Ron's 2,400 Justin Jefferson yards, bro. I still appreciate you. Phone lines work great. Good. Smitty, I got a bold prediction. Ramondre Stevenson will finish as a top 5 running back if you win. And win you a league 2,000 total scrimmage yards. It's possible. That's a good one. It's possible. It's bold. I'd say that's bold. Bold predictions are supposed to be next to impossible. Ron picked we'd find out he's an alien. We'd basically be told, by the way, breaking news, JJ's the first confirmed alien. The human race has been tricked. JJ is not actually a human. He's an alien hybrid from the planet, I don't know. From the planet, take a lap. Smitty, you're over under games until C-Mac gets hurt. I hate playing that game, bro. You got Niner Rick in here. He's gonna have an aneurysm. I want to say like he doesn't get hurt, but the bottom line is 10. I'll give you 10. Week 10. Keep the link. Reflect back on it. Nostradamus, Smitty Damas. Hopefully I'm wrong. Not next to, let's see, what's Navy? That's not next to, that's a mile past. It says Ada. I like it, Ron. Ron, I asked you for a bold prediction, bro. And you brought it. You brought the Thunder. You should be proud of yourself. That is probably the boldest prediction ever dropped on the show. Here I am in control of the bold predictions. You just want to one me up, Ron. You're just one-upping my bold prediction. I tell you, Bijan's running back 1. Everybody flips out. I cause a little controversy. People say, Smitty just called Bijan as a rookie running back 1. Ron Navy has to step in and, like Grant, try and one me up. And he says, oh yeah? Bijan running back 1? Overall, out of all players, not just rookies. JJ, 28,000 yards. All right. Daddy Dennis says 2K rushing yards for Walker. I like that one. Smitty about to go sleep. And then D-Hop gets traded. Well, I'll be back if that happens. Don't worry. Niner Rick ain't worried. They'll have Bijan, Saquon, Gibbs, Cup, Devontae, and JSN to fill when CMC gets hurt. That's true. All right, I'm out of here, guys. Appreciate you. On that note, I leave you with the new music video by your boy Smitty. The music video is called Get Breached.
Brees Hall is 8 foot tall. He will always answer the mother freaking call. Don't let him fall. In the third, don't stall. Just give Batman the freaking football.
He's Brees. He's Brees.
He does a hull of a job. A hull of a job. A hull of a job.
Brees Hall, please report to the moon.
He does a hell of a job.
Get breached.
Kenneth Skywalker. Kenneth Lightsaber Swinging Skywalker.
Thank you. Nork, I don't know. Watch. We'll call you Watch. Thank you, Watch. If JJ gets 2,400 receiving yards, Burrow getting 6,000 passing yards. Ada, what are you going to do free of charge if Ron Navy's right and he gets 2,400 or more? What is the free thing you'll do? Like right on your forehead, Ron Navy rules, Ada. Thank you, Ron, for the $5 holler. Oh, yeah, earlier show we mentioned it was Smitty's birthday yesterday. Thank you, Ron. Appreciate it. Thank you, Travis. See you all later. Appreciate you. I'll tattoo Ron's emoji on my body if JJ gets 2,400 yards, says Travis. And we'll end it on that note. That's beautiful. Thank you, Heating. Appreciate you. Thank you, Travis. Appreciate you. I'll see you all tomorrow.